today we are going to share a secret with you. So are you ready? Be sure to click the subscribe button and active the notifications. Jim and Pam, The Office. We feel disloyal bringing this up, but the American version of The Office is so much more fun than the British version. Jim and Pam take around 7 seasons to get together, but the slow burn is so much fun to watch, especially their joint pranks on the hapless Dwight. Seriously, how is this not the perfect partner? Tammy and Coach Taylor. If you haven't watched Friday Night Lights yet, seriously, go watch it. Not only is it one of the best written TV shows of all time, but Tammy and Coach Taylor are basically relationship goals. And every time Coach Taylor tells his kids, "Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose," we want to high-five someone. We love that this couple argue and are challenged and face tragedy, and they do it all as best friends. And the story always shows that they need to sacrifice and make compromises for one another. It doesn't hurt that Kyle Chandler is pretty hot. But the moment where Coach Taylor agrees to drop his contract and move to Philadelphia because Tammy has spent years supporting his career and, "It's your turn, babe." Oh, it makes my heart melt. Felicity and Ben. Felicity. Felicity and Ben was everything that I felt about young love. If you're not familiar with the show, I'm not sure it ever aired in the UK. It's about an overly intense nerd called Felicity who doesn't speak to her high school crush, Ben, until he signs her yearbook at graduation. So Felicity does what all 18-year-olds would do, and drops her place at Stanford to follow Ben across the country to NYU. You say stalker, I say romantic. Felicity is over-intense and overthinks everything, and Ben mutters a lot and struggles with, feelings. But this show tells you that sometimes the smart thing to do is not go to Berlin with that guy who ended up being a spy in Scandal, and instead go on a mad road trip with a really hot guy who has commitment issues. Because you're young and, why not? Chuck and Blair, Gossip Girl. Let's get real, Chuck and Blair were basically the only reason we kept watching Gossip Girl as long as we did. Separately they were utterly toxic, but together it just worked. Obviously, worked is a relative term here considering it's outrageously camp soap. Chuck tried to sleep with Blair's nemesis Jenny B, and he once traded her for a hotel. We think he might have killed his father, but details. Meanwhile Blair gets engaged to a prince and accidentally sleeps with Chuck because the lights were off. But heck, they're hot, so I'm going to go with it. Angel and Buffy, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The couple that slays together, stays together. Unless one of them is the undead and the other is the chosen one, destined to kill monsters. We re-watched the entire Buffy box set a couple of years ago, though, and it's still just like a flashback to every tortured teenage fantasy we ever had. That scene where they first sleep together and Angel says, "I love you. I try not to, but I can't stop," is basically like catnip to me. Also that scene where they go on a date at the ice rink is bizarrely cute, up until Buffy has to kill an assassin with the blade of her skate. Seriously, we love this show so freaking much. Pacey and Joey, Dawson's Creek. One of the trickiest parts of growing up for me was realizing that real boys are not Pacey Witter. Now, we will admit with hindsight that Pacey's haircut in seasons 1 and 2 was seriously questionable, but that's not the point. If you didn't swoon a bit at the scene where Pacey recognizes that Joey is wearing her mother's bracelet because she told him about it in passing 6 months earlier, well, you don't deserve that heart in your chest. It still gets my every time when Joey says, "You remember that?" and Pacey whispers, "I remember everything." Angelo and Jordan, My So-Called Life. We have 3 things to say about this particular ship. First, this is the most realistic teen show a mainstream network has ever aired. Second, Jordan Catalano, as played by Jared Leto, is ridiculously beautiful. And third, the ridiculous way that Angela Chase moons over Jordan and says crap like, "We like how he's always leaning." That's exactly how daft and pointless a proper crush is, and we love it. We almost feel wrong for putting them on a list of best TV couples because they're barely a couple. But actually, when you're 15, I think barely still counts. Doesn't it? Veronica and Logan, Veronica Mars. We are conflicted about this one, because Logan is unquestionably bad news, what with the frequent fighting, drinking, sexual misconduct and the like. But that scene where the completely inebriated Logan declares his love to Veronica at a party gives me all the feels. And that's the point about shipping a TV couple. It doesn't necessarily mean that's what you want real life to be like, it's what you want to watch on TV, right? Rory and Jess. Dear Netflix, if these two don't end up together, you and me are going to have issues. Teen Jess was, let's be frank, a bit of a dick, but he was smart and passionate. Throughout Gilmore Girls, Jess is the one who challenges Rory, who calls her out when she's being a prat and not seizing opportunities and being true to herself. What's more romantic than that? Damon and Elena, Vampire Diaries. Oh god, the shame. We have YouTube playlists devoted to the Vampire Diaries. It's one of the few box sets we can watch over and over and not get bored of. We can feel you judging me so hard right now, and we don't blame you. But honestly, when Damon and Elena have a completely inappropriate, she's dating his brother, make-out session against a Motel Ice machine, it's amazing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this video, click the like button, leave a comment and remember and click the subscribe and the bell to be notified about our next video.